Hello everyone and welcome to the Porsche Carrera Cup Asia 2021 Round 3. I'm your host Ivy. Looking back on the first two races in Shanghai, it was a fantastic opening for the season. The new drivers and teams that have joined the competition this year not only brought more energy to the series, but also a tough challenge, full of thrills and excitement. BD Group's Ye Hongli lead the driver standings with 43 points after winning his first title in Shanghai, while Maiden Racing's Lin Kang is 5 points behind in second place, followed by Team Porsche Holdings Chequered ranking third. Today, we'll start round 3 at the Zhuhai International Circuit, which we return to after a 7-year absence. So let's see what heart-stopping thrills our drivers will provide us in this uniquely designed and exciting high-speed track. 大家好，欢迎来到亚洲保时捷卡雷拉杯2021赛季第3回合的比赛现场，我是主持人 Ivy。回想起上海首战2回合的激烈比拼，真的是给我们带来一个精彩绝伦的比赛周末。一众新加入的车手及车队不仅给杯赛注入了更多的活力，更是在前2回合比赛中勇往争先，在紧张与悬念中给我们拉开了一个全新的战幕。来自于保德企业集团车队的叶红利以43分占据了车手积分榜的首位，并在上海站斩获了他的个人的首场冠军。而美东车队的林康以5分的劣势，目前排在了第2位。紧随其后的是保时捷控股车队的崔越，目前排在了车手积分榜的第3位。今天我们将在珠海国际赛场开展第3回合的比赛。那这是一条设计独特又紧张又刺激的赛道，也是亚洲保时捷卡雷拉杯时隔7年后重回的一条赛道。那么今天我们的新老车手们又将会在这条赛道上上演怎样的精彩对决呢？不要走开，一段上一回合的精彩回顾过后，我们马上回来。
Well, a very, very warm welcome this afternoon to Zhuhai. Hello, everybody. I'm John Hindorf, and my pleasure again to be in the commentary box for this 16-lap or 30-minute contest with a very, very pleasant 31 Celsius in the air, 41 on the track, and 74% humidity. This is going to be a real workout for the drivers and for the Michelin Pilot N3 racing tyres on those 18-inch rims front and rear of the new for 2021 Type 992 Porsche 911 Cup cars. Just in the final throes of preparation, and one or two of the drivers have actually jumped out of their cars trying to get a little bit of respite from the heat. Let's head down to Ivy, who has some of the atmosphere from the grid and someone who's made the change from driver to owner.
We're on the starting grid of Porsche Carrera Cup Asia Round 3, and joining me trackside today is the owner of 20XX Racing Team, Chris Wu. Hello, Chris.
Hello, 大家好，我是吴亦凡. Hi, I'm Chris Wu. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Yes.
So, Chris, this is the first time for you to visiting Zhuhai International Circuit?
This is my first official race and a race weekend. I have been here before only once to do free practice for myself. Yeah, so a pretty new circuit for me, yeah.
Okay. Can you tell us what is it like being a team owner compared to a driver?
It's quite a lot of work to do, actually. Yeah, being a driver is a lot of fun. Being a owner of a team is you got to also develop new drivers and make sure the team does well. So we're still a very new team, very young team. So we're hoping to get better in the future. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you very much, and I hope you and your team will enjoy the race today.
Thank you very much. Yeah.
Back to you, commentator.
So just slightly overcast here this afternoon, which may give a little bit of a break to the drivers and the tyres, but those clouds are moving quite quickly. But temperature still, as we've said, very high indeed as the grid begins to clear. The first couple of rounds, a couple of weeks ago now on the Shanghai International Circuit. We moved now to Zhuhai. 3 years of street races here before this was built in 1996. 4.3 kilometres or 2.5 miles. 14 corners, 9 right, 5 left. And some great overtaking spots as well. Most of the slower corners, so 7, 9, 11 and 12. And then towards the middle of the track, there's a really interesting section at turn 6 where there's a bit of a bump. Should mention turn 4 as well. A lot of times been throwing out of qualifying for track limits on the exit of turn 4. And one of the key points, turn 14 onto the, 900 metre or 5/10 of a mile, half a mile front straight. Get your exit speed through there, and that'll turn into an overtaking opportunity potentially down at the first corner. Well, as I said, plenty of people getting their times thrown out, but no problems for Absolute Racing.
So this is your second time starting pole position. What do you plan for today?
It is a really nice feeling to be on pole position again. I think the plan today is to get a good start and hopefully to pull away from the others and do my own race. Thank you.
Thank you very much and good luck.
So the bright orange team star chase from Chequered, and that machine run, as I say, by Absolute Racing. They're, apart from their own car as well, for Bianye in 10th position. They're looking after Min Heng for Toro, the 66, and also the 88 car as well. So, as Ivy said at the beginning of our show, it's pretty tight at the top after two rounds, with Liu Ye ahead of Lin Kong, 5 points the difference. Toyue in 3rd position from our pole sitter today, in 4th in the standings. We have got 3 classes here. Pro-Am Min Heng leads by just a point from Shobi Wang and Yan Ye. And in the AM classification, 3 points the gap between Eric Kwong and Henry Kwong, with Jackie Wu, who's not racing this weekend. He's not doing the full season. And in his car this weekend, the 69, it's Jeffrey Zzz. So engines have started. I hear the unmistakable tones of a 4-litre flat 6 on tickover. For all the things that are new for 2021 in the Type 992 Porsche Carrera Cup car, the 4-litre flat 6 remains the same. Tweaked to a little over 510 horsepower, which I would say was adequate. But my goodness me, they're putting in some lap times. Frank Montani has the outright lap record here, going back to a race I commentated on in 2010. The 1,000 kilometres here for the forerunner really of the World Endurance Championship, and his 908 went round at 1:22.9. But I think actually rather more representative of what times we're putting in here is the GT3 lap record, which was Frederick Vervisch back in the Asian Le Mans series in 2016 for the 4-hour race. He did a 1:34.5. That's just about a second and a half, 2 seconds quicker than our pole sitting time today. And that was put in by Chequered, as we said, from Team Star Chase. Toyue, Porsche holding, that's 99 and 86 on the front row. Daniel Liu for Team Jepson in the 20, Lee Kong for Maidong Racing in the 14. And as we head back through the grid, Andre Couture, Liu Ye, 5th and 6th. Bao Yinlong for Team Shanghai in 7s. Zhu Biwan, the 68 driver for the other Maidong Racing car, then in 8th. Yuan Bo for the 88 Ivory Brake Capital car, Yan Ye in 10th. Then it's Min Hong, Nathan Liu, Li Chao, Eric Kwong, Henry Kwong, Li Jia and Jeffrey Ziz. And odd one this one, the 666 right at the back. Ling Yue had all of his times disallowed by the stewards. The Team Star Chase Yu Kwa had a lap disallowed. This was all at turn 4, as did 22 Liu Ye and the 88 as well, Yuan Bo. But they at least got some times in. 3 laps lost by Ninggue in the 666, and then eventually the stewards cancelled all the times from qualifying. And given that the one qualifying session sets the grid for both sessions, your first of your laps, your best lap rather, sets it for this race, your second best lap for the next race. That's really bad news then for Lingue, who will have to start from the back today and at the same time tomorrow for the second race. That's going to really dent points scoring opportunity. 16 laps, all 30 minutes, just coming up to 10 past 2 local time, as our pole man Yu Kwa heads on to his spot, which will be driver's left, which sort of looks like the outside down to turn 1. So the bright orange number 99 on pole position, the black, silver and red Toyota driven 86 Porsche Holding on the right hand side of the grid, the left as we look back from turn 1. Porsche Taycan safety car just pulling up behind the field. Actually, that might be a Panamera in the heat haze there. Hopefully won't see that or any intervention from the safety car. Waiting for the lights then for round 3 of Porsche Carrera Cup Asia 2021. Green flag at the back of the grid is waved enthusiastically. Wait for the engine revs to rise when they see the lights. Lights are on, and we are racing at Zhuhai. Great start from the outside of the front row, and Ling Kong almost in the pit lane as he goes all the way to the right-hand side. Brilliant start by Toyue, who leads already. We have what I call the crossword car, Liu Ye in the gravel, down towards turn 4, side by side for third. And an awful start from the pole sitter, and there's contact there. The red, white and blue car, Bao Yinlong, that's the number 16 Shanghai machine that was in the gravel at turn 4. Track limits there, but was helped out onto that area of the track. But a brilliant start from the outside pole sitter Toyota for Porsche Holding in the 86 car. Oh, and there's a breakage on the front, I think, of the number 7 car. Is that Andre Couture? Yes, it is. Looked like he may have had damage to the right front steering, and that gave way. That's the Toro Racing white and red number 7 that is in the kidney litter at turn 9. Normally one of the overtaking spots. Long run from 10 to 11, just over a third of a mile, 500 metres, then heading off towards turn 14. Really important to get a good run through 14 and on the front straight. And that's exactly what Toyota has done. Magnificent first lap and start from the driver that was second on the grid. Andre Couto, oh dear, second time in 2 meetings that there's been contact. Remember, he was spun out at turn 1-2 area in the second race at Shanghai. He is not a happy camper at all. What a good run then, and a great start from Toyota with Ling Kong behind in second. Then Daniel Liu in third. He's held on to his third position. Paul Sitter, Yu Kuai down to fourth, making up positions. Rambo, Bian Yi in fifth and sixth, and Eric Kwon coming up as well to lead his class. So more good points for Eric in the AM category. Yellow flag still for the stranded car at turn 9, and I think we are going to see the safety car. We are. Waved yellows around the Zhuhai circuit then. Well, what a shame, and bad luck as well for our leader, Toyota, in that black, white and red machine. That lead that had been built up then will disappear. Safety car did not quite pick them up. They're just coming through turn 14 now and onto the start line. And Toyota will be the first to see it. That's very bad luck for Shobiwan in the silver and blue, GT silver and blue Midong Racing 68 car in the pit lane. Damage to that car as well, and I think that was steering damage as well, you know. So our leader then will be picked up by the safety car, has been. See the yellow lights. And in fact, the safety car is a 911 this weekend. Toyota describes himself as a professional racing driver and esports driver. Some history in this championship. Nathan Liu's car as well, with damage to the left front on the 20XX racing machine. So Nathan's not going to be happy. Andre Couto already out. Nathan Wu in the pits. Chopi One in the pits. Li Chao in the pits. Let's go back to our leader. Been in this championship in its various forms since 2016. Fluids at the front of the 20XX racing car. Nathan Wu will be not rejoining us. Have got full 24 hours before the cars are back out to race again tomorrow. Toyota, best of, has won this championship, sorry, should I say. But let's nip down to the pit lane and get some reaction. Well, from the start, it was a fabulous start off the line, wasn't it? From the number 12 car, from Ling Kong. And I thought he was going to take the lead, but from the outside of the front row, Toyue made an absolutely brilliant getaway. Then it was bad news straight away for Liu Ye. Ling Kong, now he was almost in the pit lane and on the pit lane exit grass for a moment, in a second going into the first corner. Then the incident, so there was the tap. Toyota are already away. Now, what happened to Andre Couto? Because he was going nicely, but then as he tried to brake for turn 9, it all went wrong. But there was action at turn 4 with the red, white and blue car of Bao Long, I think, getting moved over. That was the number 6. And then also going wide, Couto at the same point. Yeah, that was Bao Long in the gravel, as I thought. But there must have been some contact between Couto and our pole sitter. There's the answer. So Chequered just perhaps moving in the braking area, or did Andre Couto, highly experienced driver, make a mistake and misjudge his braking point? But he just caught the rear of the bright orange absolute run number 99 in the braking area for turn 9, broke the steering arm, put him into the gravel, and that's why we're under yellow flag and safety car out. Now the good news is the ever efficient marshals, thank you to all of our marshals around the world, have already got Andre Couto's car on the flatbed, so I don't think it'll be too long before we go back racing. Safety car deployed then for Andre Couto's number 7 Toro Racing Porsche to be removed from the turn 9 gravel trap after contact with the pole sitting number 99 Team Star Chase. Chequered didn't make the best of starts, can shuffle back down to, I think, 5th position at one stage. Now back up to 4th. By far the best start, the man from the outside of the front row in that number 86 Porsche Holdings, black, red and white. That's where you are. Now are we going to see the safety car head to the pits this time? Don't think we are. So that'll be another 4.3 kilometres or 2.6 miles. I do think that that start is something that our pool man Chequered, James, will want to work on. He's come into Porsche Carrera Cup Asia from the Formula 3 Asian Championship. He's had poles there. Also run in the China Endurance Championship last year when there was no Porsche Carrera Cup Asia. Very traditional run has Chequered for Team Star Chase in terms of his driving. Started in karting, Formula Masters, Asian Series as well. Now part of this highly successful Carrera Cup Asia Championship, showcasing the new 992 Porsche Carrera Cup car. It's a big weekend here for Porsche, with the other championships this weekend all featuring Porsches, including the Cayman GT4 Championship, the Sport Cup. One or two of these drivers have come up through that as well. And celebrating 4 years of Porsche Club China. And there's an awful lot of flat sixes here at Zhuhai this weekend. It is a Porsche Files delight. Just under 19 minutes to go. Will be a time certain race if we don't get the 16 laps, which I have to say now is looking less likely. Well, believe it or not, waving around in the background there, Team Jepson's Daniel Liu. trying to get some heat into the Michelin Slick Racing tyres. Some great course games this year as well. It looks like we might be going back to green here, as a variety of emotions being displayed down in the pit lane. But now take a breath, because the safety car lights are out. It peels off right into the pit lane at the final corner of Zhuhai International Circuit. Oh, now big jump by Zhuhai in the lead car. Let's hope it didn't. The safety car line is just there at the start of the pit lane. Well, that tyre warming was very good news indeed for Daniel Liu, because he's made the pass down onto the inside at turn 1. Fantastic stuff. Lincoln could not defend to his right-hand side, and the leading 3 now. Zhuhai, new for second in that white with the blue stripes. Daniel Liu. Then Lincoln. Yu Kuai, 4th position, trying to get back on terms with the leaders in the bright orange car. We know he's got the pace from his qualifying runs, and he has about bridged that gap. No surprise that the Andre Couto and Yu Kuai contact is being looked at by the stewards. What they'll be looking at is whether Yu Kuai moved in the braking area, or whether it was avoidable contact by Andre Couto. Zhuhai then leading by about a Porsche's length, maybe a little more, around the northern side of the circuit, and heading back towards the start-finish line through the sweep of turn 14. Much quicker corner than you think when you first see it. On to the start-finish line. Half a mile, excuse me, 900 metres. And there's a battle for the lead. Down the inside again. Exactly the same as 1 lap ago. Daniel Liu. Couldn't get that one done though. The right spot though, so that was good late braking by Zhuhai, who is leading in that 86 car. Silver car with the blue flashes in 3rd. Lincoln, Yu Kuai in 4th in the orange, still trying to get back. Very bumpy through turn 4, and the front end of the Porsche is almost pogoing off the ground there. Now down around the far side of the circuit. It used to be 3 corners over by turn 7, but the FIM motorcyclists decided it needed a bit of a change, as once again we've got a battle for the lead. Bit of a lock up there by Daniel Liu. Got the car slightly sideways. Talking about motorcycles, he sort of backed it in. Now, the drivers in Porsche Carrera Cup Asia do like the flash of the lights, and that's now started by Daniel Liu in 2nd. And for the moment, Zhuhai's pace is just dropping back a little bit, and that's allowing everybody to close up. Fastest lap of the race, 1:38.5 by the 2nd place Daniel Liu. Still sitting on 3rd. Once again, Daniel has a look down the inside. No chance to get through there though. Halfway through the race, in terms at least of the time. In fact, we've done 7 of the advertised 16 laps, but if we get to 30 minutes, it will be 30 minutes plus a lap if we haven't got the 16, if that makes sense. I think we've got 5 cars. I think we can say 5 cars now in that lead battle. Zhuhai, Daniel Liu, Lincoln, Yu Kuai, And at the back of that 5-car group is the number 88, the Ivory Grey Capital, Wembo, the white car. It's another absolute run car as well. Ingo Matter's team, based at Shanghai International Circuit, among other places, but that's their main area of operation. End of another lap. It was 3/10 last time around. And this time, Toyota just maybe has eked out a little bit more. Yeah, 4/10 on the line this time. And that means that second place Daniel Liu doesn't have a look. Actually, he's a bit tied up with what's going on behind him. Lincoln trying to take that second place back. Just noticing that further back down the field, Leo Yeh is running nicely in 6th in that silver with almost a crossword puzzle design on the side, the black and silver checkers. Just off the lead group at the moment as they turn through turn 7. Heading down now to the overtaking potential of turn 9. See who dives out to their left-hand side in that leading quintet. Nobody is the answer. Just get the feeling that from attacking what a lap and a half ago, Daniel Liu now is driving in his mirrors a little bit in that white number 20 in second, worried perhaps about Ming Kong and Yu Kuai behind him. That's allowing Toyota just to get away a bit. Past the pit lane entrance through the kink for turn 13, and the right-hander at 14 and back on the start-finish straight. Just in the classes, by the way, Pro-Am at the moment being led by Absolutes Bianye in 7th position, ahead of Team Shanghai Honda's Bajinglong, and Min Hong behind them. So those three are battling for position and in 7th, 8th and 9th, and for the lead in the Pro-Am category. Eric Kwong in the top 10 at 10 and leading the AM class with cars between him, or a car at least, between himself and Henry Kwong in the 91. So the battle for second, though, is still raging on as our leader has slipped away to a little over half a second. Then it's Daniel Liu, Ling Kong, Yu Kuai, all in close attendance. The white car at the back of that little group, number 22 of Leo Yeh. Leo Yeh is the silver car, and the reason I got myself messed up with that is because I think he's closing in. I do now think that Leo Yeh in that 22 car, the silver and black checker, with 9.5 minutes to go, has half a chance here of getting on the back of that battle for second place. At the moment, no challenge to the leader. Yeah, no doubt in my mind, with the gap now 3/4 of a second at the front of that group battling for second, the gap is coming down at the back of it as well. So the 22 of Leo Yeh bouncing through turn 4, and he's got target acquired now on the back of the white Wambo Porsche ahead of him, and that is 5th all the way up to second, those cars ahead of him. So after a sketchy start, when there was a bit of bumping and boring, oh hello, and there's Yuan Bo looking down the inside of Yu Kuai, but he drops back into 5th position. Now those two fighting's going to let that silver car onto them, and he's there. He's there now. Fourth and fifth have dropped away from second and third. With a weaving around again, and a slight mistake by the second place driver. Daniel Liu has just gone a little bit wide through turns 11 and 12, and it's side by side through the kingdom 13. Surely not into 14, that's too quick for that. Well, got it done. Lincoln goes back into second. That's an impressive piece of overtaking. Daniel Liu, who was challenging for the lead earlier, likes the inside move at turn 1, but gets done. Oh, and he's sliding around. I wonder if he's put too much energy into the Michelin Racing slicks. It's very, very warm indeed, over 40 Celsius on the track. And even these relatively short 30-minute races, or 16 laps, if you abuse the tyres early on, there's a lot of very high energy corners here. Long, fast corners. Think of turn 3, turn 6, and then that turn 14 as well. The right-hander onto the start-finish straight. You're leaning on the tyres a lot. Extremely powerful cars, the 992 Porsche Cup machines for 2021. And I just wonder if Nathan, who was warming his tyres behind the safety car, there's a lot of bike. Lincoln in second. Now, did he keep it on the island? He did, but only just. That again is at that tricky braking manoeuvre at the end of the second longest straight on the track, which is around about a third of a mile, 500 metres. Braking area into turn 11 and catching a couple of riders out in the last couple of laps. Coming down to 6 minutes to go. 1:38 from the leading group. Now, having got onto the back of Van Boort, Lioyet has not been able to challenge. Pianier going through in 7th. Bao Long, oh, spins! Just as we were talking about him, Ming Hong spins the car. The number 66 that went along, that's the round, that's the third place car in Pro Am. That was down at exit the turn 1, but I think he's got him pointing in the right direction again. 666 fighting his way up from the back after all of the times were disallowed. Lignerie for the horsepower 666 car. It's a race back, so I'm not sure Min Hong will actually lose a position. 5 minutes to go. Lincoln then in second. Has he got anything left in himself, in his car, in his Michelin tyres to try and chase down the leader? It was over a second at the last timing point between Toilet and Lincoln. Daniel Liu still in third. Paul Yu Kuai in fourth. Then number 88, Yuan Bo. Leo Ye leading the Pro-Am category. Just too fast into turn 1. So there was a position lost there by the number 66. As he went around the Toro Racing, Ming Hong. That allowed Bao Long to get through into second. He's held on, as I say, to... Oh, actually, no, he's dropped all the way down to 12th now. So it took him rather a longer time to get pointing in the right direction than I had thought. I thought he'd recovered quite quickly. So that's taken him off the podium in Pro-Am. And Linguet has gone through, and that's a really great drive by the 666 driver for horsepower. Started dead last, 18th and has made his way halfway up the field now. 9th position for the 666. It's the sort of dark grey, graphite coloured Porsche, if you get to see that. I reckon you've got time for probably 2 more laps. Maybe 3, depending when they cross the line. Pro-Am leader, another Absolute racing car, resplendent in GT silver. Biennier having a fairly lonely drive down to turn 1 at the moment. Got some 5 seconds between himself and Bao Jinlong. And it's another 3, nearly 4 seconds back to the very rapid 666 from Linguet. We have lost, and therefore we won't see going round Andre Couto, and we've lost the number 68 of Zhou Biwan, the number 9 as well of Li Chao, and yeah, we did see Nathan Luke go in the 20XX. That was the one with the radiator that wasn't holding on to the fluid. That was accident damage as well. Multicoloured number 23 is the Kitty World Racing Porsche, and the AM leader, that's Eric Kwong, who is now coming under a little bit of pressure from Henry Kwong behind. That's the sort of dark green yellow car, and that is the battle for AM first and second. In the top 10 for the leader, Eric Kwong. He'll be delighted with that. Yeah, all right, bit of carnage. Nevertheless, he's only 11 seconds down the road from the leader. Actually, 22 seconds down the road from the leader. So all of the class leaders now in the top 10, with Biennier in 7th for the Pro-Am category, and Eric, as we'd said, in 10th. Now, the last lap board has gone out, and we will get the 16 laps. So I was a bit pessimistic when we saw the 911 safety car. So now under a couple of miles for Toyue to withstand any pressure that Lincoln can bring at the front of the field. Those two well ahead of Daniel Liu, who's a couple of seconds further back now. This has been virtually a light to flag victory then from the outside of the front row from Toyue, and he will take it coming into the 14th and final corner on the 16th and final lap. Checkered flag is out, and it's the Porsche holding driver Toyue who takes the 3rd round of the Porsche Carrera Cup Asia. Lincoln in 2nd for Maidong Racing, with Daniel Liu in the number 20 in 3rd for Team Jebsen. As far as the class are concerned, congratulations, in 7th overall for Absolute's Biennier, ahead of Bao Yinlong, and a fabulous drive back through the field by Lin Yue, who started dead last after having all of the qualifying times wiped out, and you have to do that again in round 2 tomorrow. And 10th position overall for our AM winner, Eric Kwong. Well, some very, very good driving at the front of the field. Toyue will get to stand on the podium. He's just gently bringing his Porsche back. Checkered flag has been waved, Still a bit of aggressive driving going on out there. Now, I wonder if some people haven't seen the checkered flag here, or whether they just want to get back to the pits. Daniel Liu certainly has the hurry up on. But certainly by time and by number of laps, the race is over. They should peel off into the pits this time around. They have. So they just wanted to get back. Tell you where then, just about getting into the pits, putting a bit more dirt on either side of his Michelins, making sure that the ride height is not going to be an issue in post-race scrutineering checks. And the winning cars then will be taken into Park Fermier and pit in ends. And as soon as the drivers have unstrapped themselves and got that breath back, we'll get Ivy down there to have a chat with them. So let's just recap the unofficial results then. Toyue wins it from Lincoln in second, 3/4 of a second at the line. Daniel Liu, who's battling for the lead for a while, will have to make do with third. Yu Kuai started on pole position, had an awful start, but finds himself in fourth position by the end. Top of the class as far as the Pro-Am's concerned, seventh overall for Biennier for Absolute Racing in the number 3 car. For me, the drive of this race, the 666, he can go all the way from the back to 9th and 3rd in that Pro-Am category behind Bajinon and Biennier. Eric Kwan finishes in the top 10 and will take the AM plaudits. Back to do it all again tomorrow. Well, a little bit of carnage to start the race. But all's well, it's well. I think Andre Couto will not be putting twice into event. He himself with broke car. So now sunshine at Zhuhai, as we wait for the drivers to cut to us at the end of same time tomorrow. So green flag is just after 2 o'clock local time on the air, about 15 minutes before. That'll be about 1:55 local time. That is just before 7 in the UK, before 8 in Central Europe. 6:55 there again tomorrow in the UK. So round 3 of the Porsche Carrera Cup Asia at the pole position for the bright orange number 9. What a horrible, horrible start for best of luck for anybody from the front row. Certainly, that's the advantage. Toyue got through. That he was not relinquished. Early issues for Leo Yet, who ended up in gravel at turn 1, lap 1. Lim Kong, almost on the grass, was on a pit lane exit. As he heads down to turn 1, Mark Racing driver surviving that little worry. Not such good news for Bajin Long. Got a little bit of a nudge, turn 4 on lap 1, and red, white were in the gravel, slightly damaged. But there was even worse news for Andre Couto, who was involved in that incident because There was damage to the front end of Andre's car. By the time they reached turn 9 on the first lap, had trouble slowing it down and hit back the bright orange but by Couture in the gravel. His rear cover and the Porsche 911 safety car slowing the field down whilst hard work Marshall took the car and harm's way on the restart. Number 20, you learn for Team Chequered.
Right in second position. Lovely stuff down the inside of Lincoln at turn 1. Daniel has been warming his tyres up behind the safety car. It looked that was a great move. He immediately caught the leader and started to give him a bit of grief. But then the pace dropped off. Couldn't hold on to second position. Really strong manoeuvre to take back second by dominating Lincoln. Round the outside at turn 14 takes a lot of bravery. Not a good day for Toro. Andre Couture not making the first lap. He hung spinning out of second place in Pro-Am and dropping down the field. At the sharp end. Are you there? Other than that one opportunity for Daniel Liu, really wasn't challenged. Three quarters of a second at the line. The victory for Porsche Holding. Are you there? So plenty of excitement. Bit of work to do for some of the teams as well before we welcome the cars back tomorrow at the same time.
So Chequered, I have to say that was really a tough race, right? But congratulations to you. And you are not starting on pole position, but you grabbed the win. So did the battle to keep a first place make this win much sweeter?
Yeah, so today I had a really good start and keep my pace, just concentrate on the track. So one lap by lap, so very successful and complete the whole race and very happy for that. So thanks team Porsche Holding gave me this precious opportunity to be the PCCA driver. I think the PCCA is a really good race and they provide us a good stage, the learning, improve, yeah.
This is also your first time win, right?
Yeah, it's my first time, yeah.
Congratulations to you again, and I will see you later on the podium.
Told you there'd be some happy people there, and we were right. Diving. The rather threatening cloud that we had early on seems to, for the most part,
we go to
away.
When the driver Lincoln interview.
所以你看你今天的表现，把你就更靠近了最后的 championship 的 standing。你觉得你很对这个结果满意吗？今天的？
今天我们排位赛没有开好，然后第一回合我们决定用排位赛的旧胎发车，然后呢以第二完赛，我觉得是非常满意的，而且积分榜领跑的叶红丽在我后面完赛，所以今天对的积分榜是非常好的。
你觉得你对明天的比赛你有什么期待吗？或者预期会怎么样？
因为我排位赛不是很好，明天是第6发车，但是我有一套新胎，希望明天不要下雨，然后能上领奖台吧。
Okay, then finger crossed that tomorrow will not win. 我们一会儿在颁奖台见。
谢谢。
I'm not liking that. Michael Racing. Here for a couple of the teams. Second, Maidong Racing. The other one, not Joby one, being in the not finishing. Toro's there, not great either. With Min Hong and Andre Couture both having incidents. Couture's car requiring a bit of work to be done to it.
congratulations, Daniel. So it was a really tough race. Tell us something about it.
Yeah, it was definitely a tough race. I had high hopes for this race as well. It started really well. The start was all right, but then we had the safety car, and then I fought my way back up to P2 and started attacking P1, but then the car just started to fade away from me. Tires just got too hot and pressure's too high, so there's nothing really I could do but just bring it home.
Okay. Do you think this track offers so many overtaking opportunities?
This track is very, very difficult to overtake. I mean, it's all about braking and accelerating, you know. Very hard on the brakes on this track, so, and it's very old, very bumpy, this track. It's a tricky circuit, so, yeah. But it's a good thing we finished the race, got some good points.
Thank you very much, and good luck tomorrow.
Team Jepson's Daniel Liu. So, our speculation then, in the middle of the race, towards the end of the race, spot on. Just started to lose the cars. Talking about the pressures there. He's not talking about the pressure on him. He's talking about the pressures within his Michelin slick tyres. And once they started to get too high, it's a function of the tyres getting over hot as well. Tyre temperature goes up. Temperatures within the tyres go up. Pressures, one of the things that you have to get spot on in your racing cars. It's one of the things that you work with your engineers with. So maybe, just maybe, they'll start, if the weather's as hot tomorrow, with the pressures a wee bit lower. Because having the intervention of the safety car means that your temperatures, tyre temperatures drop in the middle of the race. And we saw Daniel weaving around behind the Porsche 911 safety car, and it seemed to have done the job on the restart as he dived down the inside of Lincoln and took second place. But then just couldn't hold the performance to the rest of the race. Fantastic run for Linguet from 18th all the way up to 9th and taking third in Pro-Am. Keep an eye for that 666 tomorrow. He'll be starting from the back again after all of the times from qualifying, all of his times from qualifying were disallowed. Let's wait to see if Ivy can pick up another interview before we head on to the podium. Turned into a very lovely afternoon now at Zhuhai. Should have the overall winners first, then the Pro-Am and the Am. Verbendum, Michelin man, ready to join in the celebrations on a very spiffy podium in the paddock. The big screen behind, very F1 that, isn't it? So round 3 of the 2021 Porsche Carrera Cup Asia. Complete.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the podium.
And here's Ivy with the formalities.
For round 3 of a Porsche Carrera Cup Asia 2021 in Zhuhai. We're now presenting the trophy for the overall class. Let's welcome car number 20, Daniel Liu Wenlong from Team Jaspan. 有请第2名车手 car number 12, Lincoln from Maidon Racing. And welcome the winner is car number 86, Cui Yue from Porsche Holding. The dealer trophy winner is Porsche Holding. Now we'd like to invite Director Motorsport of Michelin Asia Pacific, Mr. Ben Ma, to present the 3rd place trophy. Now we're glad to invite the Vice President Customer Relations of Porsche China, Mr. Gary Shun, to present the second place trophy. Now we're glad to invite the Vice President Marketing of Porsche China, Mr. Daniel Schmollinger, to present the winner trophy and dealer trophy.
Nice picture for the family album. Overall podium then.
Our presenters and congratulations to our drivers. 现在就开启你手中的香槟，是我们庆祝的时刻。
Such an awful waste of a fizzy drink of any description. It's a good drive, you know, that from Toyota, from Porsche Holdings here at Zhuhai. Took his opportunity from the start and never relinquished the lead of the race. Good points for him in the championship. Let's move on to the Pro-Ams now. Top three, all inside the top 10 overall as well. 7th, 8th and 9th overall in the Pro-Am category.
Next, let's invite the winners of round 3 of a Porsche Carrera Cup Asia 2021 in Zhuhai for the Pro-Am class. Let's welcome the third place car number 666 Ling Yue from Horsepower. And now welcome the second place car number 6 Bao Jinlong from Team Shanghai Yongda. And now the winner is car number 3, Bian Ye from Absolute Racing. Now we'd like to invite the Director of Motorsport of Michelin Asia Pacific, Mr. Benma, to present the third place trophy. Now let's welcome to Vice President and Customer Relations of Porsche China, Mr. Gary Shun, to present the second place trophy. We're glad to invite the Vice President of Marketing of Porsche China, Mr. Daniel Schmollinger, to present the winner trophy.
Here, 3, 2, 1. One more, 3.
And one more trophy to go. Have to say,
Congratulations to our drivers!
have to say, my driver of the day, Ingue, third position there, up from the back of the grid to 9th, 3rd in his class, and had the foresight to prepare the champagne cork. Nice work on the track, great work on the podium, although he's forgotten to take his trophy with him, so perhaps he's not overly happy about having his times disallowed. Reset the podium for the final time. It is the AM category. And the winner here also finishing in the top 10 at 10th position. Ivy has all the details.
Let's invite the winners of round 3 of Porsche Carrera Cup Asia 2021 in Zhuhai for the M class. Let's welcome the 3rd place, car number 828 Li Jia from Silver Rocket. And 2nd place, car number 91, Henry Kwon from Triple S Racing. And the winner is car number 23, Eric Kwon from Chequered Racing. Now we're glad to invite the Director Motorsport of Michelin Asia Pacific, Mr. Ben Ma, to present the 3rd place trophy. And now we're glad to invite the Vice President of Customer Relations of Porsche China, Mr. Gary Sheng, to present the 2nd place trophy. Let's welcome the Vice President of Marketing of Porsche China, Mr. Daniel Schmallinger, to present the winner trophy. Congratulations!
Let's give them their moment on the podium. Our Pro, and now the AM winners have all had their go on the Zhuhai podium here for round 3 of the 2021 Porsche Carrera Cup Asia. Thanks to Ivy for all her hard work on the grid and down at the podium. We'll be back to do it all again tomorrow. 1:55 local, that's 6:55 AM in the UK, 7:55 in Europe. Bye-bye.